Okay guys, welcome back to my Batman collection. This time we're going to be focusing on the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, and I'm obviously going to start off with Batman Begins. Over here on my left I have the Batman Begins Steelbook. Beautiful way to have it. I definitely want to get the DVD version that's out, the one that actually has the Batman origin or Batman behind the scenes in a different order. It was almost done like a comic book. It was done pretty well. I definitely want to get that, but I saw this one and I had to get it. It has all the special features actually that DVD has, but it's the order in which they do it. You actually have to click on each thing to get it to go to the next one, which for Blu-ray you wouldn't think they would skimp out on that, so someone was not paying attention that day. But next to that I have the Batman Begins limited edition gift set. Now, before I get into what's in this gift set, in 2005 Christopher Nolan basically wanted to do a Batman film that no one else had done before. If you didn't know, before this there was not a definitive Batman origin put to screen. You had some glimpses of it in Tim Burton Batman films and a little touch in Batman Forever, but in this you actually do get a definitive from beginning to end of how Bruce Wayne became Batman. From the point where he was a child, traumatized by an incident where he was surrounded by bats, to actually becoming someone who embraced it, to use that fear to basically scare the villains. This actually was incredible because it had such a great cast to the film. I mean, you got Michael Kane playing Alfred, Liam Neeson playing two roles. He played Eckhart and he played Ra's al Ghul, who were two separate characters in the comic books. Katie Holmes playing the district attorney, and let's face it, Katie Holmes was not a great actress in this film. I never once believed her in this role. Gary Oldman playing Commissioner Gordon. Cillian Murphy played the Scarecrow. Rutger Hauer playing an evil business person who was not in the comic books. They made him up for this. Someone who was an antagonist for Bruce Wayne, while Ra's al Ghul was an antagonist for Batman. So it was a nice give and take on that. Ken Watanabe actually was in the film playing the illusion of Ra's al Ghul. Morgan Freeman in there as Lucius Fox. Anything with Morgan Freeman is great. But it's Christian Bale playing Batman, playing Bruce Wayne / Batman, and playing it perfectly except for the voice. That gravelly voice that you just wanted to give him a cough drop. But other than that, this movie was fantastic. They showed you the evolution of the Batsuit, that Batman himself didn't make it. It was something that was a discarded experiment in Wayne Labs by Lucius Fox. How he got the cape that allowed him to get around the city. All these practical effects that actually are implemented today were put into this movie. So it was a heavy dose of reality, all the way down to the Batmobile. I mean, this thing was a tank. It reminded you of what Frank Miller designed in The Dark Knight Returns. So I love this film, and to see Scarecrow done in such a weird way, where he didn't put on a full costume, he just wore a mask, I thought was great. And before this, I'd only known Cillian Murphy from 28 Days Later, so definitely made me really like that film. But when I come back, you're going to see what they do when they come into the sequel of this, and how Chris Nolan takes that world of reality one step further. Okay guys, continuing with my Chris Nolan collection, going to be going to the next film, The Dark Knight. This movie, kind of like what happened with Tim Burton's first Batman film that came out in 1989, when they heard about the casting, they lost their mind. They heard that Heath Ledger was going to be the next person to play the Joker, and the internet blew up. It was just, people were pissed off. They were saying, oh, Brokeback Joker, we don't want this, and people didn't really think that he was going to play a great Joker, but he's an Oscar caliber actor, so why wouldn't he be able to do a good job? I mean, even when they showed the first makeup test of him, it just, people weren't ready for it. The scars with the makeup over it. They wanted someone with white skin. I admit, I was one of them until I saw the pictures and then I heard the voice, because they did a really great PR ad where they just had Heath Ledger talking, and it was all these playing cards falling down. So it really made people feel eerie about him. Now, this version that I have right here is a 2-disc DVD limited edition. Now, this version actually comes with a bat mask that when you open it up, it actually has the 2 discs inside the mask. So it's a pretty cool, cool edition. Next to that, I have actually a French edition. This is actually The Dark Knight with the Joker bobblehead. So probably can't see it in there, but I'll put a picture of this up there. There is a great bobblehead in here too. This is again a DVD. Now, make sure I had all the versions of it. Next to it, I have the Dark Knight 2-disc Blu-ray edition. This one comes with the Bat Pod. This is actually one I really like because, I'll show you here in the back if you can see it. If not, I'll put some pictures up for you. The Bat Pod is actually separate from the movies. The movie's actually detached from the back, and you can actually open it up, and the Bat Pod can still be a display piece. So you don't have to disturb it, and you don't have to go through the back like a lot of collectibles that have the DVDs or Blu-rays collection to it. You have to go through the back to open it up. This you can just pull it right off, and you don't mess with anything. Now, going back to Batman The Dark Knight movie, now this came out in 2008, and Heath Ledger was definitely ostracized by society for playing this part until he really came into the trailer. The trailer is what did it. Because again, even when they did the photos of him, the problem with him were that it wasn't in a dark room. He was actually behind this bright wall, almost like what I'm behind, and the Joker just didn't come through. He looked like just a demented clown. But what worked was his way of working with Chris Nolan to find that the Joker is a figment of chaos. He is just disorder in the top level. Now you get Christian Bale coming back to playing Bruce Wayne / Batman, but they changed out Katie Holmes for Maggie Gyllenhaal, which to me was a much better recasting. Everybody clicked better in this movie. Now I talked about Heath Ledger as the Joker, but they also introduced in here Harvey Dent / Two-Face, played by Aaron Eckhart. Just done in such a great way that was so comic book oriented. Even though it wasn't comic book accurate, it didn't matter. It actually worked better because it was more tragic. If you haven't seen this film, you definitely got to do that. But you just had Chris Nolan at his height, and Gary Oldman playing Commissioner Gordon. You forget that he is someone who plays a lot of bad guys, because Commissioner Gordon is such a wholesome character in these films that you forget who's playing him, and that is probably the highest compliment you can give to someone. Morgan Freeman comes back again as Lucius Fox, so you really get the whole cast back together. But one thing I didn't mention in The Batman Begins is the music. Hans Zimmer has a tone that he sets for each of these films that sets them apart, but they have these musical cues that let you know they're connected. But that's going to be all I'm going to talk about on these films. I hopefully will get other Batman Dark Knight items, hopefully just a regular DVD I can just play with. But this is what I have right now. When you come back, you'll see my Dark Knight Rises collection. Okay guys, welcome to the final part of the trilogy of Christopher Nolan's Batman. This one was, some people loved it, some people thought it was the worst of them. I'm kind of like, I do put it almost at the bottom, which of the three, not of all the Batman films, but of the three, and that is The Dark Knight Rises. This came out in 2012, and it set a bunch of records. I mean, for a final chapter in a trilogy, it's probably one of the most successful, and to me, one of the best, because they never really lost the quality of the tone. And that's because you had Christopher Nolan leading everything. He produced it, he wrote it, he directed it. He had a hands-on in the design of the tumbler, of the Bat Pod. And in this movie, they introduced the Bat Wing. So in each movie, they progressed in the technology of Batman. And This movie actually has two antagonists, actually three antagonists actually in this film. The main one is Bane, played by Tom Hardy. This makes up for Batman Forever with that groaning idiot that went around screaming out Bane. He made Bane smart, deadly. You were afraid of this guy. Now you also get Catwoman reinvented in this movie by Anne Hathaway. Completely different from what I was expecting her to be. She never really became a good guy. She did a lot of stuff to help out Batman, but she never was going to just stay in Gotham and save everybody. She was going to leave. The other villain you have in this film is the surprise villain. And if by now you haven't seen it, I'm going to spoil it for you. You had Marion Cotillard, I believe, playing Ra's al Ghul's daughter, Talia. So you kind of get that Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil story in here with a twist. I do love the fact that they made Batman, once again played by Christian Bale, human. I mean, he starts this movie off and I mean, he's in horrible shape. I mean, his knees are shot from jumping off buildings. So they show that, you know, even when you're wearing armor, your body is not invulnerable. It's still going to get the shocks and pains that, you know, you go through in the life of Batman. The mansion, it looks like they moved out. All the furniture is covered up. And that's because he's still reeling from the death from Batman Dark Knight. Who died in that film? Hit me up in that comment section below. Let me know what you guys think the answer to that is. Should be easy. It helped to create Two-Face. But this film was so great, and one of the things I liked about this film is the character of Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He plays a very surprising character. He has a nice twist to it, which was ruined by somebody who told me who he was. I hate you for that, BJ. You owe me. You owe me. You still owe me for this. You ruined the movie. But this movie really shows how from Batman Begins to Dark Knight Rises, how that evolution and how Gotham deteriorates and opens themselves up for terrorists happens. It, you know, can go through a lie that Gordon was saying because it helped the city. It could be all these different iterations of different people's beliefs coming together, and you just believe it when you see Bane's forces fighting the police in the middle of the city. It's a great scene. I really, really love that film. Now, I could talk about that forever, but let me tell you about the editions that I have before me. Right here I have the Dark Knight Rises Steelbook. This is actually a French edition. I didn't know it was French when I bought it because it was actually bought through eBay. And I was wondering why it was taking so long. It was because of customs. They actually weren't going to let this go through. Now, next to that, I have the Dark Knight lenticular cover. This is actually more of a book, and the movies, you know, you have your DVD. We got a bunch of illustrations in here. There's a comic book. It just has a lot of stuff in there, but I got it because I like the cover. The lenticular on this cover is great. In my Superman collection, there's one that's just like this, but obviously it's Superman and Zod. You'll see that in my next collection video. But next to that is one of my prized possessions of my Batman collection. Anyone who has been following me on YouTube know that last year I did a giveaway of one of these. The winner of that was William Dean, so congrats, Will. He won one of these. I had two. I was just trying to figure out, hey, do I just leave it as a display piece or do I do it as a giveaway? Obviously I did the giveaway, but I kept one for myself. This is of the Broken Cow. This is a Blu-ray collection. It's a 3-disc collection. It's fantastic. This way it matches with the Batpod I have from Batman The Dark Knight. I can put both of them side by side and they will look great together. But this does one thing that I hate about any type of collection that comes with a figure or statue or stuff like that is you have to get the movies from the back. So you have to reach around or pull it out the way to get to the movie. So since I already obviously have several versions of it. This one being the only one I have that's unopened, or that one that is open. I don't need to open these two. But that'll be it for this. When I come back, I'm going to show you my two big pieces I have for the Christopher Nolan collection. You'll see that when we come right back. Alright guys, I told you I would show you the bigger pieces I had in the Nolan collection. That's going to be basically the box sets. Not so much for size, but the fact that they're all in one. The other ones were individual movies. This one over here, the Dark Knight trilogy, this is actually a DVD collection. This is actually what they call the complete Dark Knight limited edition gift set. I just got this because I actually just love this cover. I love the fact that the bat changes. It has all three of the bats from each of the logos from the Nolan trilogy combined into one. And it does come with a booklet as well. But next to that, I have probably if you get one collection, this is it. And it's not expensive. You can actually find this for like 50 bucks or less, depending on the seller. Just be careful. This is called the Dark Knight Trilogy Ultimate Collector's Edition. This has Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises in it, and a nice, fantastic slipcase cover here. This comes with a bunch of stuff, and again, if you just want one edition, this is great because you also get not only all three of the movies with the special features in Blu-ray, you get a replica of the tumbler, the bat pod, and the bat. So you get all of those with a giant booklet. You get so much in here. I mean, and for the, like I said, 50 bucks. Actually, I found this at Best Buy. I think it was on sale for 45 bucks. And you know, brand new when I got it. I wanted to look at it. I wanted to open it up. So when I got it, and I just love this. This thing just works. This was before I thought about collecting. I was just happy having this one because again, I got everything in one. But that's it for my Batman Christopher Nolan collection. When I come back, I'm going to show you what I have animated and a special feature or a special addition to this collection. Okay guys, welcome back to my Batman collection. You saw my motion picture collection. This is going to be my animated collection. Not a lot, but they're my favorite ones. First one I have here is Batman Gotham Knight. This is a direct-to-video film that has 4 different directors collaborating or actually doing their own spin on Batman. So you got your traditional American, you have your Japanese anime influence, and you have 2 that kind of fit into the surreal world. Next to that is my all-time favorite one. That one is Batman Under the Red Hood. This is a storyline that actually took place in the Batman comics by writer Judd Winnick. And he actually is the writer of this movie. So he actually went to DC to campaign for this to be made because it was not on their radar at all. How can you turn a year-long storyline into a less than 90-minute movie? But he did it. He also incorporated death in the family in this, so that actually opens up with the most brutal scene you get in Batman, which is Jason Todd getting beat to death by the Joker with a crowbar, later to be left and blown up. It's actually in here. That's how this opens up. Jason Eccles is the one who plays Jason Todd in this movie. Plays it perfect. When he needs to be menacing, he is. When he needs to be lighthearted, he is. You get Neil Patrick Harris in this film as Nightwing, my all-time favorite character. You also get Bruce Greenwood in this film playing Batman for the first time, who was amazing. He actually did a couple other go-arounds with Batman, namely in Young Justice. He was the voice of Batman in that, so they carried that over really well. But this was amazing. Now next to it we have Justice League: The New Frontier. This was actually a miniseries done by Darwin Cook that was to show his love of the Justice League. And this is actually how the Justice League comes together. Amazing, amazing work done in here. And I love it because Flash is the focal point in here. but you get Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman all in here. So great movie, definitely check this out. This is a 2-disc DVD collector's edition. But I figured with Batman v Superman coming out, we should spotlight Wonder Woman when we can, and this actually was a great direct-to-video movie. This was actually in most people's top 5 as far as the DC animated movies, and this really works well because you have Kerry Russell playing Wonder Woman, and she does it really well. She has a great innocence to her voice, but when she needs to become that badass Amazon, she definitely turns it on. And I just can't say enough great things about it because it's a great origin story. Very reminiscent of the George Perez first couple of issues. Definitely check those out. They're in trade paperbacks. You can find those anywhere. But these are my animated features. But other than that, I do have a couple other little things I want to show you. In here, there are reasons why I'm a collector. I don't make a lot of sense sometimes. I actually bought the Catwoman DVDs. If you notice, they have 2 different covers to them. This one right here on my right, your left, I only bought for the cover because I'd never seen this cover before. I actually bought it on eBay for $1, so I didn't spend a lot of money for this. This one is just a traditional one that came out with the slipcover. Yeah, Halle Berry played the worst Catwoman ever. She won more Razzies than anybody else until this year, I think. But it fits in the Batman world in its own weird way, even though Batman's never ever mentioned in this. So I got these. But other than that, I also have, since this is a Batman video, I have Gotham, the first season. Now this is in a special 10 that has Gotham and the skyline raised in it. It's really great protection to the Blu-ray. And then when you open it up, you get your traditional Blu-ray. Now there is one that comes with a slipcover. Unfortunately, the slipcover is too big for this edition, so it didn't fit in this one. But I will eventually get that one. But I hated this show, so I got it because it was cheap at Reckless Records. But other than that, Batman related and gaming related, I have for the PC, I also have Injustice: Gods Among Us. This is actually one of my favorite DC games that's out. This really is layered as far as the storyline of an alternate reality where Superman kills Joker, becomes the villain. Check this game out. You can, if you got Android, you can actually get the fighting game on this. Not the storyline, but the fighting game. But other than that, that's my Batman collection. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know what you guys think. I will be adding to the end of this items that I'm still looking for. So hey, anybody wants to send them to me, yeah, send them to me. But that's my collection. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me in that comment section below. Hit me on Facebook, Twitter. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on Gimmer. I'm everywhere. All my information is right here below us. But that'll do it for me, guys. Thank you so much. My next collection video will be on Superman, just in time for the Batman v Superman movies. But that's it. I'm Sean, your video and comic guru. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, picture book drama is everything in entertainment, and I hope to see you guys next time. Peace! Okay guys, one thing I didn't mention through this whole video was this beautiful piece right here. This actually belongs to my little brother BJ. This is actually his Batman vinyl pop hero collection. And yes, I did say vinyl. This actually is a 1 in 21 piece set. This is actually number 1. This actually has just a giant Batman, which you can see on the back here, shows you everybody else you get. You got Robin, Superman, Wonder Woman. They even have the Christopher Nolan Batman, Catwoman, and Bane, along with, God help us, the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern and Sinestro figures are in here. But you know, you got Aquaman, you got a bunch of people in here. So I know I didn't mention this one. Shows you on the side what he looks like. Aww. It's beautiful. This is, again, the first in this piece. So on top of it being Batman, it's also the first one. But I wanted to let you guys know what this one was. But until then, see you guys later.